Reel the other day, okay? It's 6 seconds long and there's a caption that says wait for it. Wait for what in 6 seconds? What do I wait for? At the end of a video, the big laugh is what I look for. you beatbox, I'll rap. I knew my girls were going to say yes. That's not the problem.
Just a word of advice, boys.
Please don't have doubts about it. Talk about it to your partner.
Okay, welcome guys. What's up? Anyway, today we have with us a guest and he goes by the name of Jun Beats.
No.
Okay, no, he goes by Arjun Manohar. Arjun.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, guys.
So, my interview. You want the interview version, no? Like
no, I don't want the interview version. I want the genuine, honest, raw version.
So I am this dude who works in marketing for this huge ass brand, but
just which brand is this?
Netflix.
Okay,
Yes,
just to Netflix.
Yeah, just to Netflix as my full-time money-paying job, obviously, and I'm also this content creator who, like a lot of us, requires validation on a daily basis.
He's away. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to do this process for him because clearly every time this happens, guys. Every time I try to ask them to introduce, they'll get all awkward. Like, am I this person yet? Am I qualified enough to call myself this?
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'll have to come forward and be like, okay, guys, this is what they all do, and then they'll feel this validation, and then that's where this same process happens with every single person. It's okay. Let's go for it. So Arjun Manohar, we actually met during Trendloud time, so he has a lot of corporate experience in the media field, especially in the digital media field. He's worked as a content producer, and currently he's working as the South content head for...
Don't say shit like that.
Okay.
So you're going to get me fired.
This terminology is why I wanted you to explain it first.
So I lead most of the, like, all your South promotions and all your South content promotions. I kind of lead that section.
Basically, if I see anything to do with South on Netflix, YouTube channel,
Netflix,
or
YouTube, majorly Instagram. Anything you see on that's a South piece on Instagram,
is
98% naan da panniruppa. Yeah.
So that's his day job, and outside of this, our man also is a content creator who blew up during the pandemic, and right now he's at some 67k followers. 81. This is why I always let them do the introductions first, but then they never do it. So I have to do it, like, feed them details.
This is way better, trust me.
So yeah, outside of this, our man is also a DJ. He goes by the name of Jun Beats. He has played a couple of gigs and he has a lot of tracks. He's really famous on Instagram for doing flip versions of various songs, and I'm also a big fan of most of those songs. And he also got really famous because he does these, like, music director versions of various scenarios, like, hitting one nail on your finger. For what reason, we'll never know. But then if those music directors ever hit their nails with their finger or whatever, then they'll sound like that video types.
Yeah.
But yeah, outside of this, am I missing on anything else?
No.
That's about it, right? We covered everything. But yeah. Also, if you have to get into, like, the romantic life, he is the fiance to the Miss Shweta Miss.
Hey.
I can now finally say it on public, which is why I'm finally happily saying it. Because they literally went on TigPods and they proposed to each other, which, by the way, was one of the most magical moments, guys. But we'll get back to that later. But yeah, in short, that's it. Yay! That was when we do
Wow, what a long... It's such a boring introduction. But sure.
Of course, boring. Just an Instagram celebrity, just working for Netflix, content head of South, and when DJ, it's very boring. Yeah, for sure. The Rajinikanth humility la romba kashtam, guys. Satyavana.
Humility is my new favorite word.
Bro, I've been using humility for a while. I know the word is humility, but I'll say humility. Fuck it. Cool. So let's get straight to what we're going to be talking about in this podcast. So I'm still been wondering. He's like, but I'm like, I won't tell you that, because if I tell you, you'll prepare for it. I don't want my guest to be prepared. It needs to be raw. It needs to be felt from the heart.
Sure.
Today's podcast is mostly we're going to be talking about short form content, like how we've gone from the age of long form content and now how attention spans have come down so much, and how somebody who's clearly been killing it at this space is handling it and all of that. So, before I get into, like, the diving deep details, just chuma melotuma, you want to talk about how this scene is?
I hope it's a topic that I would have something to say. And man, do I have so much to say about this.
Yeah, I know. The number of times he's polemified to me about this, given me insights, told me, hey, idala podadra, hey, gotta adu tukada, hey, gotta idaveda thumbnail. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do a podcast one day with this fellow about this. So yeah, clearly it's something up your alley.
For sure. Yeah, obviously, right? We are moving towards short form content as the only.
No,
It's a
movie.
no, I'm saying to a point where even now I saw a reel the other day. Okay, it's 6 seconds long. And there's a caption that says, wait for it. Wait for what in 6 seconds? What do I wait for? It is scary. Obviously, it's scary because, again, we come from YouTube, right? Like, we come from places where we used to do 10-minute videos just to do more ad breaks. That's where we were at. And now, it's like, how shorter can I make the video? 13 seconds is a problem right now.
What?
I am not even kidding. People want to do it under 15. They need to do 2 punchlines under 15 seconds because story la pota time na attention ipo.
Wow. I love how the irony of this is that we're doing it on a podcast that's going to be 1 hour long.
Wow. Okay, now we know what's not going to get views on the internet. This podcast.
Yeah, guys, for sure. We're not doing it for the views. We're doing it for the loves.
Yeah, sure. Also,
Later on, you'll see us
also
crying
content
behind the
back.
camera.
Yeah, also content back. Futurely. So.
Definitely.
But, yeah.
No doubt of that. So anyway, you want to talk about like how Arjun, like you just mentioned, dude, like we were doing videos for YouTube where we'll prep for an entire week and then we'll have an entire day where we're sitting and shooting this content. Then we shrink it down from like 30 minutes of content to over 4 minutes, and then we'll see, be like, maybe we can have that one joke too. And then it'll be like YouTube, then I put a glance, so 6 minutes kill. And nowadays, we're like, dude, for 15 seconds, I got to put in so much of effort. How does that even work in like, okay, for you, how does it work in your brain? Do you ever feel that exhaustion?
I do on a daily basis, and not even like, I wouldn't even call it exhaustion. I would call it, dude, there are days where I start questioning capabilities in general. I think of like, and like, okay, to give context to people who don't know what working for Instagram is like, your job is to think of new ideas and memes and thoughts and all of this stuff, right? So my day job is to do all of that, and then you have to come down to thinking for yourself. So by this, I'm already burnt out. 1, 2. It's hard to like, so you think of 3 dialogues and immediately you're like, oh, in the 3 dialogue பேசுறதுக்கே 8 செகண்ட் ஆயிடும், அப்புறம் இதுக்கப்புறம் 2 dialogue அப்புறம் தான் ஜோக் வரும், அதுக்குள்ள வீடியோ. Dude, it's exhausting.
I get
it. And you never know how hard it is to land a shorter joke. Especially, okay, see, obviously a lot of people do different types of content. I do comedy, right? So, and with comedy, it's all about the jokes and the punchlines. Writing a short joke is way harder. The setup வச்சுக்கிட்டு 1/2 மணி நேரத்துக்கு செட்டப் எழுதிட்டு 5 minutes நீ ஜோக் அடிச்சுட்டு போயிட்டே இருக்கலாம். 15 செகண்ட்ல எங்கடா செட்டப், எங்கடா பஞ்ச் லைன்?
Setup is the title of the video.
Yeah, and punch line has to come immediately after. There's no time, dude. And right now the bigger pressure is to do multiple punchlines in 15 seconds. So if you want a viral video, right? Like you want people to share it a lot and you want the big laugh, you need to do more than one punchline. 15 seconds le 3 punchline. How do you think of it?
Yeah, well,
it
but
is
you seem to be pulling it off, so you must have
not
some
that great,
secret
to be
masala.
honest.
Okay, fine. Okay, cool. I'll be also completely honest, for sure. I'm not a fan of all the reels you put out. I'll be a fan of, I'll say, 40% of the reels you put out. But also, I think that's something we need to address to a lot of people here, that you don't make content for your friends. Don't ever do that mistake.
I agree.
Because our friends, right, we are one summer judgmental fuckers. We come from one thing of like, oh, I know this guy like this, oh, he can do. Adalla thevalada vishayam. Your fan base is actually a lot more accepting. Like you give them something which your friends will feel like is okay. For them, it's going to be amazing.
I'll tell you what, I felt this a lot because there are these music pieces that I do, right? Most of my friends, including you, always talk to me exclusively about music content because that's the thing that is the most surprising to them. Now when you say it and I think back about it, it's because you guys are used to me making jokes around you all the time.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, I've heard this in 3 different variations over the last 5 party nights. So that's the difference. Right? So it's mostly that. But to answer like, or to say, just like maybe go into that angle of creating content for not just a sect of the audience, right? I personally believe that I am making a video a day at this point, or like at least trying to do a video a day at this point, just to maintain consistency. And somewhere there are 2 kinds of players, right? I will come out, I will make one video in 15 days, but that one video will pop. Simple. I will put my effort, I'll write, I'll edit, it'll take me 2 days to do. I go by அன்னைக்கு காலையில யோசிச்சு அன்னைக்கு சாயங்காலம் ஷூட் அன்னைக்கு நைட் அப்லோட், இவ்வளவுதான். I don't want to carry the baggage of having an idea for more than maximum 2 days. For me, it becomes obsolete by then. Even if it's a good idea, I think it's no longer relevant and I want to just skip over it. So I end up mostly thinking of the idea in the day, executing it during the day, and just uploading it by the evening. That is the way I work, and which is another reason why the burnout and the exhaustion is real, because you need to think of one
Something
new
new
thing every day. And when you see the numbers don't going up, you're like, oh shit, I am not funny. I am the most unfunny person on this planet. Nobody likes me. That happens on a daily basis.
Fair enough. Actually, that's a pretty good insight, because I think by just what you just said, there is no right way to make content. Like you said, there can be a dude who can sit for like 20 days and write something quality and then put that one video out, that'll go boom. Or there can be people like you who will go like, no, for me it has to make sense in that day. The shelf life of that has to make sense. So I think the best piece of advice is, follow what you are most in tune with. If it makes
whatever
sense.
you believe in, one, not just in terms of content, in terms of what you think is the best way to handle your journey, right? Like for every day, at the end of the day, dude, journey is going to be different for everybody. Abhishek Kumar's journey was different. Nirmal Pillai's journey was different. Kishan Das's journey was entirely different, because that guy, I know we're segueing into Kishan for no reason, but because we're on that topic, that guy, he tried so hard to make funny content. We know him from what? I know him from school. So knowing that from that angle, right? There was one set of audience that he could garner before his film came out. The minute the film came out, there was a boost because of the movie. But it bled into every piece of his content, dude. Every single video he'd done before that, random videos have hit millions. And like the engagement is over the roof. So his journey was entirely different. Abhishek Kumar, Mrs. Janaki, he found found his voice, moved on. So I am just saying, now again, Afrat, like at one point I remember that kid put out 2 videos in 4 days. Both those videos hit like 4 million, 5 million. He popped and he went from 5,000 followers to like 1,15,000. And then the boy went missing.
What does he do, by the way?
He's a college kid, ra. Chinna payanda. I'll tell you this, okay? This is an insight. You can put this. He's represented by OML, and I know this for a fact. Yeah, he's represented by OML, and I know this for a fact. That guy has turned down these corporate gigs or like these influencer videos saying like cycle test not even kidding, bro. Like people out here like us who have like some 18 cameras and like 7 lights for a podcast where 2 people are talking, and this guy turns out an integration because why? He has a cycle test. So I'm just saying the journey is so different for a lot of people. It makes
just to give the viewers some context, OML is just happens to be one of the biggest talent representation agencies of India, representing names just like Kanan Gill,
Abish Matthew, who name it,
and then the
AIB, SA, everybody, even Vignesh, Abish too. OML represents all of them, and this kid. But the best part is this kid turning down
because of cycle test.
He actually tells us to his managers apparently, saying, bro, cycle test
Imagine that manager going to his boss and being like, I couldn't get him. He's like, why?
He has a cycle test.
That would be like the joke for the day that office.
Dude, bro, that's pretty crazy. I think, but to conclude, I just feel journey is very different, but whatever you resonate with or you think is the best way to kind of go about it, I think that's the best way to do it, honestly. There's no other
Fair enough. How does your brain work? Like if I had to open up your brain when you're coming up the process of coming up with the content, take us through that process.
It's chaotic, but I think I recently I figured out what my process is like, right? At the end of a video, the big laugh is what I look for. Any video that
you're like climax first
climax like I'm just saying there should be a big laugh in the end. So I usually come up with an insight. So say for example, the Savage Mom thing is very simple. I know what the punchline is. I know in the end my mom is going to say, I was not talking to you, I was talking to her. Simple. That's the punchline. Now build the narrative from reverse. Okay, now if we're talking about a girl, okay, so that means the son is going to come and introduce the girlfriend. How many exchanges can it be there? Maximum 2, because again 20 seconds we have to finish the entire video. So I usually start off with an insight, think of the punchline first, and then build the skeleton in reverse. I think that it's been working for me mostly. Most ideas are like that. The ones that I sit down and write per se. The rest of it, like song ideas, the thing is when it comes to like enacting songs or something like that, my vibe is it's just I'm doing some random activity, like say for example I'm driving a car, I listen to the song and there's one twisted nerve in my brain that says, oh, that's very fucking funny. That's it. And I'm like, oh, now I know what the concept is. I know what the video is. It could be a stupid joke. it could be a joke that maybe not a lot of people find funny. In recent times, I think one of the examples was I did a video called Literal Nacho, which was like this RRR song இருக்குல்ல nacho 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 அதுல வந்துட்டு aja chore aja gore நோட கட் பண்ணா I'll start showing nachos. So like in my head it's a very funny joke. The audience didn't think so, but I was like, I don't care, I still liked it, I'm going to put it out. Did cry about it a bit after it. I was like, oh, why is it not performing? But then that was one of those videos that I didn't take down. And I do that, by the way. I put out a video. I have a threshold. I have 1 hour. I have X views. I'm not going to say how many views that is, but 1 hour X views. If that X views does not hit, I'm deleting the video. That's my scene.
Holy shit! This is totally fresh insight for me itself, guys. I don't know this guy does that.
Yeah, and imagine like taking like 1.5 hours day off in your packed schedule, shooting, editing, putting it out 1 hour later, nah, not vibing, delete. That's it. I have like at least 12 to 15 videos in the last 2 months that I've just deleted like that are there as a bank, that I know someday I'll probably repurpose with a different insight and something like that, but there are videos like that.
Wow, bro. I am on like the pretty opposite end of that spectrum. I'll put up one video of an oil in gulab jamun, which will have like 6 views, and I'll be looking at it like, what a video. Like, fuck, it stays, bitch.
That is one thing that I observed about you as well, okay? I think and not just me, a lot of content creators should give lesser of a fuck about what the audience thinks. One sec. Tena, what are you doing?
Doing exactly what you just said. He gives no fucks about the audience at this point.
Fucks. People should give lesser of a fuck about what the audience thinks. That I love about you guys. Because Akul Bros, the first episode I saw it, I was like, loose pass. What? I didn't have words to describe how stupid I thought the video was. But then, honestly, I became a fan over the second or the third video. I knew for a fact that you didn't care about how many views it made.
Yeah, that's never something that I don't give a shit. It's not a good piece of advice, by the way. You should be giving a shit about views too.
I agree, but I also think that I think you need a balance. You need a 50-50. You need to be able to detach yourself from content, but it's so hard. You put fucking... It's a piece of you, bro. I don't know how else to call it. It's so sad.
Which is why it needs to exist in all its glory.
That's true.
Like, it doesn't always have to get all the appreciation. Like, even the ones who don't have to get... Like, maybe someday, like you're saying, you'll get that blast. Then these guys will find one random bunch of audience who will find this particular thing funny. Maybe the ones who find this funny are not on your list yet.
I agree.
They'll probably come on later. I know, I'm also pretty much riding on that one hope only, bro. I'm just like, we all know very well, THG videos we've been doing for 2 months, and we're seeing views of like 112, 113, 1,400, and there'll be one random 94,000 video view. Yeah, that happened by the way. We have one video with like some 94,000 views. Like, what the fuck? Where did this come from?
I know, I'll tell you what. Again, so on this topic, Nirmal is the best example of this. And I'll tell you, I've been following Nirmal way before he popped.
Yeah. Both of us, 600 followers.
Yeah. We were like, we've spoken about this guy also.
Yeah.
We've also spoken about this guy saying that who's this kid who's like, his edit style was damn interesting. It was very nice. And I at the beginning, that guy did not care about the numbers. He just consistently put out stupid shit. And one video popped. That's it.
Which was that video?
I don't remember actually. But he actually became a lot more popular after he started doing collabs with Abhishek.
That
like
obviously,
the Sounds Off was one of the biggest hit numbers and stuff like that, right? But one of his explanation videos that Nirmal's dictionary nu pannuvan random. He'll just take out like it's, and if you think about it, Nirmal's style is just stand-up comedy. He takes a stand-up like a set and he makes it into a sketch and he just does cutaways. இப்போ நம்ம stand-up நம்மளே யோசிக்கும் போது நம்ம ஒரு கேரக்டரா மாறி ஒரு செகண்ட் பேசுவோம்ல, அது அவன் லிட்டரலா கட்டவே பண்ணி ஒரு கேரக்டர் காமிச்சிருவான். That's his style of writing, right? And he's the best example. He did not care, and once one video popped, he found his audience. His audience,
and then they binged through everything.
They binged through it, and like adukapro one popped, second pop, third pop, fourth pop, and then that boy was not like he couldn't. There's no looking back, dude. Now he's at like 540k or something like that. That's a pretty fucking great number.
So yeah, we've spoken about thanks for your process of breaking it down of how it goes. I think TIG fellows who are watching this video who are in charge of reels, please follow this process and make something like regularly, consistently with it. I will not say make 3 days, 4 days, so that I'm from the school of thought of like make something every single day, because you'll never know what will pop. We're not the ones who are God who can decide, okay, this will go well. So let's just keep doing shit every day is my way of going about it. So yeah, okay. Outside of content creation, let's talk about flips. You didn't like. How do you learn audio like production? Where did you pick that up from? How do you break down a song? How do you recreate it? How do you make a song out of just one fucking door handle sound and shit?
Yeah, but yeah, I think that was the first one. TAG door. TAG.
Oh shit.
The first ever sounds வெச்சு நான் பண்ண முதல் வீடியோ TAG ஓட அந்த கதவு தான்.
That one curse sound, right?
Exactly. That was the first one. So dude, honestly how it started was again 2015 trend loud அப்பதான் ஆரம்பிச்சோம்ல. அப்போ I got one Apple Mac. And that Mac was basically the reason why everything is today, honestly. Dude, honestly, I think that's when I realized that you can download Logic and Final Cut Pro. These were two softwares that I wanted to just fuck around with, right? But music, I don't know. I found one weird liking towards it, and because somewhere I used to do a little bit of dance when I was like younger and stuff like that. So rhythm understanding was always there in the body. So I knew what counts were, I knew what beats were. That was a basic thought. But on top of that, once I found the software, and it's for me, right? Like again, I think I've said this somewhere else. I don't play games. Like I'm not a guy who plays games.
Yeah, you suck when it comes to that.
Exactly,
we hate
right?
him for that. Every time we play games, there'll be that one annoying uncle sitting in the corner. So
yeah.
continue.
There are two reasons for that. One is because I'm a sore loser. That's the reason I don't like games. Two, the reason is I realized that the Logic became my game. Like music production software became my game. So every time I'm bored, instead of going and playing a game, which is what generally people do to kind of get that thing right.
Me.
Yeah, you. Me. Exactly, right. I started going to Logic and making tracks, and their Logic there's this Samma matter, bro. It's called loops. You have a lot of loops that are inbuilt with the software. You can basically construct.
Harris Jairaj. Sorry, continue.
Not bro, trust me. Not just Harris Jairaj. I can, bro, just the number of people that you will find in there. But that's a different podcast.
Okay.
If you separate Tamil cinema rip-offs is a separate podcast. I think we should do that also. But because I started like structuring and stuff like that, that's when I was like, oh, this is fun more than anything else. And I then realized that can also become good content, bro. And I am content whore. That's what in my life's goal is that I want to be at a place where I just want to wake up every day, make videos, and then go to sleep. That's it. I don't want to do anything.
Kind
else.
of already are
no,
there.
not fully, right? Like for example, I genuinely don't want to sit down and make videos for others. Like I don't want to think of memes. I don't want to get up every day and find out what is funny in RRR. I'm done with it.
I think you're just like 1 year away from there, bro. It's very
yeah, I hope
close.
nobody from my office is seeing this. But
bro, everyone have their own. Everyone working in a corporate office have this dream, bro. It's like a well-known secret. It's not
I
that.
agree.
Yeah.
No, see, it's not like right now, right? Obviously, money is a constraint and stuff like that, and like that's one of the major reasons. But more than that, I want to genuinely just wake up, have like 2 editors who can just edit my content, and like that's the space. Get up, make videos, and go to sleep. So when you're in the space of I want to turn my life into content, and you realize that music is also a good addition to it, right? Then that's when I also figured out about this creator called Rudy. I will send you a link. Okay, I think he has around 8 million subscribers. He's from America somewhere, some part of the US. He's a comedy plus music content creator. What he does is, dude, he basically does sketches but as musicals.
Oh,
it's like damn funny. So take like a relatable insight, say end of the year, okay, or like now new end of the year, New Year resolutions. That's your topic. He'll make an entire sketch that has a start, middle, and end, but it's entirely musical. So, and like in my opinion, music is one of the things that has the most shelf life as like in the long run, and 2 has the potential to kind of captivate any kind of audience, break barriers basically. Even if you don't understand the language, sometimes music really moves you.
Yeah, actually, that's an amazing insight because when you, this is not the first time you're telling me, obviously you told me this before, and then that blew my mind. I'm still not able to completely do what he's doing. I really have to appreciate him for that. Hat off whole team, because that is something that blew my mind. Then I'm like, yeah, fuck. Every time I'm bored, I go and play a game because I get my dopamine from there. But this motherfucker, he doesn't go play a game. He goes in, does work, which is on a thing like Logic, which has those kind of fun, intuitive buttons that's colorful and all. It's still like a game. And at the end of the day, it is still giving you dopamine. So that's one really productive way of getting dopamine, if you ask me, by not just playing games or consuming content. Consuming content also, it can, like, it's productive too, but games, obviously, if this can become your game, nothing like it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's,
yeah,
I think that's like the holy grail to be at. So yeah, like how you have like a certain place to get to, I'm pretty sure you're already at a place, but I'm sure a lot of people want to get to that place to
True.
be able to, do
I
productive
agree.
shit for
sure,
dopamine.
for
So
sure, 200%.
yeah, so I was talking about your music production process, right? So yeah, you still haven't taken us through how you convert a sound into a musical.
For me, it's simple because like most things that you find a sound to, right? Most things are in rhythm. Like there is some rhythm attached to any sound that you hear in general, even if they're just one single sound. For example, water dropping, pluk, 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 that's a tempo in my head. So I hear it as, oh, it's at 110. So BPM automatically runs in my head because of, again, like 7 years of doing this shit. You kind of know that you need to have one fucked up brain nerve inside your brain that kind of snaps and says, oh, this is weird. That's all. I think
And then you got to embrace that, more importantly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
I
think a lot of people do. Actually, everyone does have it. It's just we, brush it on the carpet saying that, no, it's weird. Let's not be this way. Let's be normal.
being normal is boring.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the point.
But then again, you're saying that from a place of 80,000 subscribers. So your unique is, something that's cool. But for a lot of people, their unique is something that's fucking weird. So that's why a lot of people
Yeah,
end
the
up not
first
doing it.
video I put out got 800 views. What do you think? How is that? So it is.
People have to embrace that, is my point. You just have to get past that initial point, and then you'll probably hopefully see the holy grail.
No, because we're here. No, I think I have one more insight to add on to that. Find what's weird, but don't be stupid enough to say that I will. This is my original. I will do only this. Find a smart way to sell it, bro. And I actually I don't want to say who the creator is, but there's this kid that even you know of, and he'd gone on an Instagram live recently, and this was I'm awake at like 1 a.m. in the night. He's gone on an Instagram live, and there's another kid who's also these are two content creators who are, I'll be honest, they're still at around 5,000 followers. Under range. That guy is pullambifying. He was like, what is this? நம்ம வந்துட்டு 15 செகண்ட்குள்ள நம்ம கண்டென்ட்டும் பண்ணணுமா, அதை மார்க்கெட் பண்ணவும் கற்றுக்கணுமா, ஃபன்னியாகவும் இருக்கணுமா, இவ்வளோ பண்ண நம்ம கண்டென்ட் கிரியேட்டராக நம்ம என்ன ரோபோட்ஸா அப்படின்னா. In my head, no, I'm like, that's the case with any job. How can you think, how just because this is fun doesn't mean it's not a business at the end of the day. Right? Treat it like a business, man. Find out your USP and then find out how you sell your USP. There's no point in just having a USP and be like, oh, this is my USP, done. What's the next step? Figure out how you're going to sell it. I think that is important. I think a lot of people don't, either they don't want to, they think they're becoming bad people by wanting to make commercial content, which is stupid. Like at the end of the day, you need numbers, you need people to consume who you are. Nee mattum paadu panni vesti yaarukku paakka.
I mean, yeah, for sure. If your goal, if your intention is to become famous, then you have to be commercial too. If your goal is not to become famous, I just want to put my shit out.
Agree.
Then and if that's the case, then don't quantify that you're not getting numbers.
Exactly.
That's my point. Cool. I think I've covered a lot enough about you being a content creator individually and stuff. No, actually not. The more important part, which I did miss out, I want to talk about how it is making money out of being a content creator. How is it working with brands? That entire process, like, how do they approach you? How does your mind work? How much do you get paid? What do you have to do? What are the requirements? What are the, you know it better than me.
Like honestly, obviously working with brands is great because you get paid. It's like
Keeping
you
that
need
aside,
money.
yeah.
So that is the good part of it. I don't have a problem when a brand comes back and says there are changes in my video. I've spoken to a lot of creators who get really pissed off for changes, which I agree, right? Like when you're a creator and you think a video is ready, you believe that a video is ready, you're giving it to them. When somebody says it's not, it makes you question your judgment, and you will go into this angle of, oh, am I not good enough to, நீ என்ன சொல்கிறது, அதெல்லாம் வரும். எனக்கு அது பிரச்சனை இருந்ததே கிடையாது. But I think that's the only thing. You need to kind of strike the balance of how much it should be you and how much it should be the brand. It can't be only brand. Because I have turned down promotions that are just, sir, I want you to talk into camera and sell my product. Sir, hi guys, இன்னைக்கு நம்ம பார்க்க போகிறது இந்த தலைகாணியை விற்க போகிறோம். அந்த மாதிரி கருமத்தில் I've told them that இல்லை, எனக்கு வேண்டாம், I'm not interested ன்னு சொல்லியிருக்கேன் நான். But like Swiggy, Instamartla, when they came to me for this one brand video, that was a music production. They itself came to me saying there's this ad, and this ad has this tonality of it potentially becoming a remix would you be interested, was there. So they came to me with that. So I was immediately on board because I was like, oh fuck, that's pretty cool. They
Right
want
up
me
my
to do
alley,
they want me to do something that I am slightly known for and good at. So I'm like, okay, let's do this. That way, and that video and all, one take. போச்சு, approved, came back, அவ்வளோதான் upload. Like, so that I knew that இது நம்மளுக்கு. And அதுலேயும் ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு ஸ்டோரி நடந்துச்சு. ட்ராக் ரெடி, நான் ட்ராக் ரெடி பண்ணிட்டு நான் சொல்கிறேன், நான் ட்ராக் அனுப்பலை, நான் வீடியோவோடு அனுப்புகிறேன், நீங்கள் வீடியோவோட பாருங்கள், அப்போ தான் இட் வில் மேக் சென்ஸ் அப்படின்னு. ஏஜென்சி இல்லை நீ ட்ராக்கை முதல்ல அனுப்பு, நாங்கள் ட்ராக் அப்ரூவல் வாங்கிக்கிறோம், அதுக்கப்புறம் நீங்கள் வீடியோவை கொடு அப்படின்னா. நான் ஐ வாஸ் வெரி ஹெசிடன்ட் பிகாஸ் ஐ நோ தட் மேஷப்ஸ் இட்ஸ் அபவுட் த வீடியோ. The track is 70, the video is the finishing 30 that makes it look funny or captivating or whatever it is. And like I thought, when I sent them the track, they came back with, oh, it's not, the vibe is not right, blah, 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 blah. Not even kidding. The next track was the same thing with one layer added with the video got approved. You should kind of try to understand what the problem is when a brand comes back with new changes. I think that's
your advantage is you've been on that side too.
Yes.
So you know when they're talking in one language, you're like, oh, okay, ivan idha solla vara, and then you can easily make it.
Dude, I think that comes out of practice. It's you put up with brands for more than 2 years, you will know at the end of second year when they say something, oh, idatha nee mean pandriya. They won't say it directly, bro. That's another thing, right? No agency, no brand says it directly. It's not landing, joke is not funny. No, they won't say that. I think we need to punch up the humor.
By 20% we can make this extend upon beyond the L segment, I feel.
No sir, punching up the humor ku modalla humor venu sir video la. Humor illana punch up la panna mudiyadhu sir. That's the problem. They don't say that. I think, but that comes out of practice. You need to do it for 2-3 years and then you're like, oh, this is what they mean. They could have just said this. Oh, they won't. I'm sorry. And you just end up doing it, right? It becomes default. It's nice. Funner when it becomes default, honestly.
So do you remember your first ever brand video? Like when it came, how did you feel? Did you feel like, oh, I finally arrived at the promised land?
Dude, I did. Because I'll tell you why. Because honestly, dude, making money out of content creation has been my dream. And that's like I said, right? I've always wanted to do it. And I still remember it. So it's a t-shirt brand. And it was very less money. I think it was $3,000.
Wow.
And I had like around...
How much are you charging nowadays? Hey, people know.
50 grand.
50, yeah, see, that's growth, guys. 3 grand, 50 grand. Wow.
Yeah, that was I was at around 10.3 or 10.4k followers just started off. And like this t-shirt brand came up to me and said, we want you to like put out this either. We'll give you one t-shirt and 2,000 rupees cash. I'm like, yes, yes, I am influencer, mummy. I have become influencer. Influencer, right? Dude, it was... What a fucking good feeling. You have no idea.
Nice. And was that also approved on the first thing or did it go
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. அதெல்லாம்
Not
bro,
bad.
நம்ம வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா நம்ம எக்ஸ்பெக்டேஷன் கரெக்டாக செட் பண்ணிடுவோம் பிராண்டிங் கிட்ட. ஸோ யூர் லைக் only if you promise too much, that's a problem. You promise the right amount, you deliver the right amount, they're mostly okay with it because again for them, no, their communication is corporate. So they've given you deliverables. If you stick to it, you're good. They cannot ask you more than that. That's the like that's also a good thing about brands. Like most people talk about how, oh my god, my creativity is being lost. I feel it's more of an exercise. It's like a hurdle, damn. A hurdle. 100 meters ஓடுறதுக்கு hurdles ஓடுறதுக்கு difference hurdle தான். But I think it's nicer to jump across a hurdle and know and kill it at the end, right? Like when your brand video hits 100k, that is a different kind of a feeling. Your normal video hits 1 million, you're like, oh great, amazing, I'm getting new followers. But when a brand video hits 100k, the joy I feel, and when it doesn't also, I feel equally bad because you feel guilty, you've taken money from them and it's not doing what you want, the brand wanted it to do. That feels bad. But
yeah, genuinely. I think also now that you've mentioned it, and this is something that's been running in my head. You know, I think we're way past that age where people just want to take away the money from the brand and run away with it and not give a fuck about how the product's doing. A lot of the people who I'm talking to nowadays, content creators are filmmakers are even just people working inside, I think they genuinely want their work to do well. It's we're way past that age where we just don't give two shits. It's like, hey, the kaas vandache vatava polanam, I don't give two fucks about it.
No, I don't want to fully agree to that because honestly, I do feel like there are a bunch of creators out there who genuinely just want to take the money
and fuck off
and like put out a substandard piece of content and call it like, oh, amazing, I've rocked, I've gotten the money, moving on in life. I think that's still there. It still happens.
Fair enough.
Majorly on YouTube, not even on Instagram that much, because Instagram it's a personal thing da. It's like you connect with audience on a one-on-one basis, right? And your attack is also very personal. YouTube comments, honestly bro, what comments we've not received. We've never cared one bit, but Instagram comments really affect me for some reason. It kind of feels personal. I think that's the reason again also. But to answer your question, yes, I think most creators now actually want the brand to do well, actually want the purpose to be served, instead of just saying, give me the money, I'm out of here. I think that's good. That's very good, honestly.
Transparency.
I've actually gone back to a brand saying ஒரு வீடியோ பெர்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணல ஒரு தடவை. I've actually gone back. I went back to the brand and said, I'll do one more video for you for free, because I felt guilty. I was like, it's not fair for me. Brand was sweet enough to say it's okay, we பரவாயில்லன்ற மாதிரி அவங்க சொல்லிட்டாங்க. But I'm just saying, I feel more creators should do that. If one video you're charging a bomb, bro, I feel most influencers, நான் actually charge பண்ணது ரொம்ப கம்மி. If you get to know the rate card of how much like our guys charge, நம்ம பசங்க எவ்வளவு சார்ஜ் பண்றாங்க, நம்ம பசங்க சொல்லி யாரு கிஷன் அபிஷேக் ரேட் கார்டு நீ கேட்டேன்னு வச்சுக்கோ பயந்துருவ. You have, right? So that's what I'm saying. Their rate cards are, and I'm saying like that, with that power comes that responsibility, Spider-Man. But I think it's important.
I want to talk about how it is working for Netflix. Now let's get into corporate side. You are client now. How do you fuck up people's lives? How badly?
I'm not client because I don't directly work for. I still work for the agency.
Okay, fine. You're corporate.
I'm corporate. Let's just leave it at that. And let's not go into specific detail about which brand and which company I work for. Let's not go there. But
hey, come on, bro.
No, but dude, I'll be honest with you. It's because I kind of found my own niche over there, which is South again. எனக்கு ஹாப்பியாக இருக்குது, எனக்கு ஜாலியாக இருக்குது, எனக்கு ஜென்யூனாகவே the kind of content they're getting also is pretty good. Big films. I got to work on like Beast and Minnal Murli and all of that. So அதெல்லாம் when it's bigger films and stuff. RRR சொல்லிட்டேன் பிகினிங்லேயே, RRR சொல்லி தான் ஆரம்பிச்சேன். RRR அதான் இப்போ whatever, இப்போ ரீசெண்டாக அந்த தள்ளுமலானால I loved working on, because again right, the kind, because it's still, and I've always been associated to media marketing, right? It's mostly been media marketing all my life. And what more, and how better can it get? How better can it get? Honestly, let's just, as much as the pressure is crazy and like timings are erratic, all of that said and done, the reason I'm still sticking to it for after like almost 2.5 years is because I fucking love love what I am doing. It does, and I also get to like write sketches and all, so I still somewhere that side of me is still alive. It's not like only உட்காந்து மீம் மட்டும் தான் யோசிக்கணுங்கிறது மட்டுமே இல்லை, அதுவும் தாண்டி it's still there is scope for me to like write and stuff, which is why it's very nice. But yeah, honestly Netflix is,
yeah, for sure, bro. I mean, the job satisfaction there is also friggin' off the top, right? Because I mean, whatever your videos will do obviously about 10x better, because it's on friggin' Netflix or official goddamn handle, dude. And you have so many more people looking at it, and so many people will be talking about it. So obviously,
validation is like 7 times. And மச்சான் எனக்கு என்ன தெரியுமா, எனக்கு வந்துட்டு இது நிறைய பேர் தெரியாது, உனக்கு ஆப்வியஸாக தெரியும். நான் கான்டென்ட் கிரியேஷனாக ஒரு மேட்டரை ஆரம்பிக்கும் போது லாக்டவுன் ஸ்டார்டிங்கில் நிறைய I was a mix of memes and sketches. I put out just standalone memes on my feed also at that point. So meme making is something that I still love. It's a lot of fun, and like the only reason I don't do it right now is because I've kind of, there's that thing of, I am now a video content creator. I will not mix it up by making memes on my page as well and stuff like that.
Sorry, continue.
Again, no, but I feel that boy ஸ்டார்டிங்லேருந்தே அவன் ரொம்ப கன்சிஸ்டண்டாக மீன்ஸ் பண்ணிட்டு நடுவில் தான் வீடியோ ட்ரை பண்ணான், அது வேற கதை. பட் சொல்கிறது என்னென்னா, எனக்கு ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஐ டோன்ட் நோ, லைக் இந்த இடத்துல நீ அந்த வீடியோவை எடிட்டில் ஆட் பண்ணி நான் உனக்கு லிங்க் அனுப்புகிறேன். RRRோட ஒரு மீம் ஒன்று பண்ணோம் ரீசெண்டாக. அந்த இந்த ஸ்டெப் மச்சான், அவங்க ஒரு பிஜிஎம்ல வந்துட்டு அந்த இல்லை சஸ்பெண்டரை வச்சு ஒரு பிஜிஎம்ல ஒரு ஸ்டெப் ஆடுவாங்க. அந்த இதில் வந்துட்டு மை அசைன்மெண்ட், மை ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் அசைன்மெண்ட், இவ்வளோ தான் டெக்ஸ்ட். ஓகேவா, 7 million views it has, bro. I am not even kidding. That the validation I felt when it popped, right? That numbers I saw, I was like, என் வாழ்க்கையிலே இந்த நம்பரை என் பேஜில் பார்த்துருக்க முடியாது. 1 million பார்த்துருப்பேன், வாய்ப்பு இருக்குது, ஸ்டில் சான்சஸ் ஆர் தேர். 7 million அவுட் ஆஃப் கொஸ்டின். Because for that, it needs to be on a page that has 7 million, dude. And it did, right? It popped like
And you
crazy.
just have to have Ram Charan Teja on the
Yeah,
screen and Junior NTR.
Junior NTR
and on-
dancing. It's a 6-second meme, macha. And like that's the best part. We've done memes that are like 12 seconds long, 15 seconds long, tried to have 2 jokes and all. None of them. Simplest insight, simplest thought, but the visual was so stupid that people loved it. They were like, "Yeppra yosana."
There was another visual you did where you threw a football there, right?
Yeah, that was also me. That we did that for இது வந்துட்டு RRR வந்த டைம்ல ப்ரொமோஷனுக்கு பண்ணோம் and at the same time அந்த பாயிண்ட்ல football matches was just starting and it killed on that page because nobody saw football. People were like, what is going on over there?
Yeah, bro, imagine Rajamouli seeing that day. நான் என்னெல்லாம் ஃபீல் பண்ணி எப்படிலாம் ஒரு செட்டிங் வச்சு இவங்களை ஆட வச்சு showing British shows the colonizers how it's done நினைச்சு நான் ஒரு மீட்டிங் வச்சா.
Yeah, we added a football to it.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
இந்த காதலா படத்துல வரும், நீ படைப்பாளி நான் தொடைப்பாளி, ஒரு ஃபுட்பால் இந்த இடத்துல ஆட் பண்ணி இதுல பியூட்டி எடுத்து தெரியுமா? எனக்கு இன்னும் ஞாபகம் இருக்கு, டிசைனர் வேற எனக்கு ஃபோன் அடிச்சுல, ப்ரோ ஐம் வெரி சாரி, என்னாச்சு, ஐ ஃபர்காட் டு ஆட் ஷேடோ ஃபார் தட் ஃபுட்பால். Like buddy, people know it's manipulated, buddy. You don't have to feel the RRR CG la work பண்ண எனக்கு புரியல எனக்கு.
Just to the Netflix standards, guys. So like you are still working. Okay, like how can you take us through the process of how, see, like how you just explained, right? You just made it like my friend and my friend's assignment or something in football. You just said it now, and I'm sure it's not as simple as you go into your laptop and adding it and then upload. So there's one huge process, right? So how does that process go?
Process is very simple. Like obviously thinking of thoughts are just random, right? Thoughts வந்து சும்மா அதாவது,
No, I mean the corporate process.
இல்ல தெரியும், அதுதான் I'm getting to it. Thoughts வந்துட்டு how we do it நான் சொல்றேன். I don't, maybe like different agencies have different methods to do it, but we have this very simple thing of every week starting la we have one call where internal Instagram team, which is almost like around 5 people, we all get together. Everybody comes with X amount of ideas in different buckets. Like, so
you guys have like a weekly call where
yes,
you all come
we
together.
have not one weekly call, we have 4 weekly calls. I'll get to it. Okay, so the first one is our internal call where we kind of group in and we have buckets, right? For example, if Netflix le pay pathana, they'll have ஒரு ஃபீல்ஸியா எடிட் பண்ணுவோம், ஒரு லவ் ஸ்டோரி, ஒரு கப்பல் பத்தி, ஒரு 5 different couples that Netflix hasங்கிற மாதிரி ஒரு ஆங்கிள் ஒன்று, that's feelsy. We have memes, we have standalone scenes. So in the many buckets, like we think of all of those buckets, we make a bank. That bank generally has around 35-40 ideas. Whoa. This is for a week. This is 1 week generally. Okay, 40 ideas, almost 35-40 ideas, and then it goes to the client. Then we sit on a call with the client where we discuss every asset that's been pitched. அதில் கிளைண்ட்ல ஆப்வியஸ்லி சிலதில் ஃபீட்பேக் இருக்கும், சிலதெல்லாம் அவுட்ரைட் ரிஜெக்ட் ஆகிடும், சிலதெல்லாம் அப்ரூவ் ஆகிடும். After that, it goes to the edit team with like whatever visuals or insights or whatever. Asset gets made, comes back to us, we do a QC, then goes back to the client, takes a look, then goes live. This is for one asset, ஒரு நாளைக்கு 6 asset generally.
Alright, if you guys thought that people are just chilling in agencies,
bro, the opposite of chilling, bro. It's burning here, trust me. Fuck, we're always on fire, right? And like generally, and மச்சா இன்னைக்கு இருக்கிற டேட்ல நீ எப்போ காலைல எந்திரிச்சாலும் முதல்லாம் வந்துட்டு பிரேக்கிங் நியூஸ் 2 நாளைக்கு ஒருக்கா 4 நாளைக்கு ஒருக்கா நடக்கும். இன்னைக்கு டேட்ல every 1 hour there are 3 breaking news that happen. So you need to kind of be in touch with all of that shit, see which works with the brand's image. I think, but it's tedious, but it's fun. Like
it's also really safe. It's great because there's a process to it. That's also something that I want to talk about. Like I learned a lot. I picked up a lot of pointers and processes literally just working with you, like for the small projects, be the subtitling and shit. Before and all, when I used to do subtitling for, let's say, our YouTube videos, there's no process to it. I'll just do this and I'll go and I'll correct, and then someone will say tell me the mistakes and I'll go and make it. But now is where I learned how you can like send a file to a client and how they send back feedback with timestamps, and you have like particular SaaS softwares for this, like a v.io, like something frame.io, where you can literally comment it at the particular thing, saying at this point this particular thing, and then you have certain like glossary terms for it, like how you call it an asset. Adhe madri you have, like, I'm sure there's a term for the 3 ellipses. And the madri you have certain terms that will just over time keep recurring, and the person is doing it, you save so much more time in the explaining process.
Correct.
And it forms a template that, let's say one person is sick or he's not able to take over that day, another person can just come in and take over from there.
You can swoop in and seamlessly go into it because it's a process, right? You know ABCD. Yeah,
Exactly. That's things like this is why I love the corporate process as well. As much as I bitched about it, I thought like, oh my god, this is boring. Now that I'm actually doing it, like running my own company, I'm like, oh shit, man, all this shit makes sense. We need to be doing it. Even today, I yelled at him for like not having one system in place for taking all of our equipment, not just taking it and like randomly keeping it. It's all, I think, systems is what takes you places.
Bro, process sounds monotonous, but it's the most interesting thing in life in general. It's the most important thing. And like even people who are freelancers who don't have a regular job, in my opinion, need to have a timetable, because somewhere it just gives you discipline, bro. And like I think that discipline is what will make you want to get up every day and just do what you're doing daily. I think that is hard, especially for people like us who are content creators who don't have a full-time job.
Yeah,
I think it becomes hard, right? Because the lines get blurred. At this point, you're like, oh, I'm a writer, I'm not feeling it today. You should be feeling it today. Exactly. It's your fucking job. If you imagine, I go and tell my client saying, no, I'm not feeling like writing a caption today. Yeah, I don't feel like paying you at the end of the month. That's the conversation that would happen, right? Yeah. I think everybody should have that conversation with themselves, where they're like, fuck, need to have a discipline. I think that's important.
No, that's true too, bro. I've been reading this book called The Artist's Way, another book called How to Get Ideas, and another book called like lot of fucking books, bro, on like how to get ideas and shit, written by Julia Cameron and all. And they've literally said the same thing. They're like, this entire myth about creators suddenly getting that idea out of somewhere is bullshit. That can happen. It can be manufactured. There is a process to it. You just need to stick to that process and then it will happen. Unfortunately, I have not been successful in sticking to that process, so I have not been able to show the success yet.
Dude, I feel the brain, there is something called working out your brain. Like you especially when you're a writer or a creator in any sense, or should I say for any job in that sense, your brain needs to be tuned for it to come up with ideas.
Yeah.
Why do you think, but imagine thinking of 42 ideas a week and then going back to do the same thing the next week? How much can you think of? Because you do it in that quantity on a daily basis, you end up coming up, because your brain starts getting tuned to having fuck all quirky weird thoughts which end up in being your funny pieces or your good pieces of content, right? I think that's very important. Discipline. It's
for
crazy,
sure.
yeah.
I heard someone who I look up to once tell me that you get what discipline is what gives you freedom. It is super ironic when you think about it, but then it's what's true as well. And
it feels like a Kamal Haasan dialogue. ஜி புரிஞ்ச மாதிரியும் இருக்கு, புரியாத மாதிரி ஒரு நடுவுல எங்கேயோ இருக்கு ஜி.
Yeah, but it's true. I think even the other day I was sitting in the office and I was sitting and talking to the boys and telling them how they were sitting and pontifying to me how boring it is looking at their parents living a life like an NPC. காலையில் ஏஞ்சிக்கிறாங்க, இது பண்ணுறாங்க, அதே பண்ணுறதுல போர் அடிக்காதானே? I'm like, டேய், அதுதான்டா the holy grail. You don't know how big a deal it is for them to achieve that they're there and they're happy in that process. That's the best. Trust me on that. But
I agree.
For us, I think it's there's still a lot of chaos in us. We still keep trying to fucking find out, oh no, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do like 20 things, and we just forget about the regulars, just sticking to what we're doing. And it's already...
Bro, basic shit is the best, and I know it sounds, I mean, I am old slightly, but
you are 26, you're not fucking
26,
old.
27.
He's 27.
Wait, fucking, you're 1 year elder to me.
I'm 29, bitch.
But that means I'm 20. You're 93, I'm 95. That's all. And you're 1.5 years the difference. 2 வருஷம் அந்த மாதிரி மேட்ச்லடா. அந்த மாதிரி மேட்ச்லடா. இது 93 மார்ச் நீ. இல்ல அப்புறம் என்ன? சரி, okay. Actually, let's not go there. So no, but I'm just saying that, dude, the older you kind of get, the older or the years you start growing, you end up realizing that having a boring life or a basic life is the best.
Yeah. Now is when you'll be like, fuck, I'm becoming a parent and I am starting to like it. What the fuck?
Dude,
this is weird.
Dude, that realization happened when I moved out. I was like, damn. Macha, I walked into a room that day and I shouted at my friend. My friend saying, fan off பண்றீ dude, and for 1 second I stopped to just, oh shit, I sound exactly like my dad, and I don't even feel bad about it. Why is the fan running? Obviously I would ask her. Dude, it's a brilliant feeling.
Now you know what and why and how I felt during all my TIG days.
Yeah,
Let's fail
dude,
all you motherfuckers.
but I'd like to take some credit for this. I am the only person who actually came up to you and gave you credit for that. Nobody else who's left that place has come back and given you credit. They only come back to make the same mess that they did the last time. I've literally, one, taken extra care, two, given you credit saying, bro, we were all dicks and you really tried to kind of, make us understand and see basic shit, but
Fair enough. I've always had in my head also. This bugger will be one of the ones, even if I yell, he'll understand why I'm yelling. And the best part, this is something I don't think I've ever told you, but I'm super grateful for, is when I am not there, he'll take up that bad cop role and he'll yell at the others without even me having to ask it. And I know about this because now and then I'll hear his yelling, but then I won't come about and bring it up because I'll think that if I'm Sultan, I'll stop doing it. But fuck, I said it now. It's okay. I'm pretty sure I'll still keep doing it. Yeah, it's chill. It's how life works. But actually, this was one topic that I was going to address also. It's in my notes about moving out. How is that process? When you've been living together with somebody and just staying by yourself alone in a space, talk about that. I actually did not even have the same process because I moved out into an office. It was a whole different setting, man, and it was during lockdown, so I didn't get the same experience as you did. You got the entire package.
Yeah, and dude, it felt very intimidating at first, and I was like, fuck. So if there is a palli in my house, I need to figure out how to fucking get that palli out of my house. What are you saying? I can't be like, Mummy, where is the torpakata give me? No, I can't do that. So that, dude, and especially coming from a household which is supremely overprotective, supremely, நான் உன்னை சைக்கிள் எடுத்துகிட்டு பக்கத்து கூட போக விட மாட்டேன், 6ஆம் கிளாஸ் படிக்கிற பையனுக்கு, ஓகேவா, இல்லை அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு வீட்டிலேருந்து வந்துட்டு you suddenly turn back and you're on your own, you need to figure shit out by yourself. It's very intimidating, but at the same time, the freedom that comes with it, my goodness, dude, you feel like, fuck, I can do whatever the fuck I want, dude, and chinna matter theriyuma, the small things are the best things for me. For example, enga veetla KitKat சாப்பிட விட மாட்டாங்க. நான் கொத்த எத்தனை கிட்கட் வாங்கி ஒரே நைட்ல முடிச்சிருந்தேன் தெரியுமா, யாருமே கேட்க முடியாது என்ன. பெஸ்ட் ஃபீலிங் எவர். That was genuinely lovely.
But again, cut back to after 10 years when you've been notifying KitKats and get diabetes and you'll be like, oh fuck, this is why they asked me not to do it. Shit.
Yeah, but then that's the best part about me, right? நீ சொன்ன மாதிரியே தான் நான் வந்துட்டு அந்த ரிபெல்லாம் வந்துட்டு ஒரு நாளைக்கு தான் பண்ணுவேன். எனக்கு ரிபெல்லிங் இஸ் ஜஸ்ட் ஒன் டே டு ஜஸ்ட் செக் தட் பாக்ஸ் ஆஃப் டேக் தட் திங் ஆஃப் லைக் அப்பாடா இப்போ பண்ணிட்டேன், இதுக்கப்புறம் நம்ம அதை பண்ண தேவையில்ல அப்படின்ற அந்த ஸ்பேஸில் நான் வந்துடுவேன். But you're right, but I just feel it's more of the small things that was fun, honestly. And yeah, I mean, that's when you realize how much, one, money is important, or two, how much savings is important. 3 is how much in general being responsible is important, because you see the current bill and you're like, what the fuck? Daddy, I love you for just taking care of me for this long. I would have thrown my child out if I knew this was the current bill. Genuinely, bro. It is crazy.
Coming to the final part of the podcast, you managed to do something that a lot of people can only dream of. A lot of people can only think, oh fuck, it's a movie. You managed to actually propose to someone inside a fucking bar during one event, during an entire crowded thing happening. It's like one of those, American sports wala thing, proposal thing, but not as impersonal as that, but something super personal in one space. How did it feel then? What was going on through your mind?
I'll be honest, because the good thing and the bad thing was that it was in a bar. Okay. So by the time I proposed, I was 5 drinks down. So for me, I know it sounds like a little bit cocky in that sense, but then I didn't have the worry of, a lot of people asked me right after the proposal, were you worried about whether the girl will say yes or no? I knew my girl's going to say yes. That's not the problem.
Just a word of advice, boys. If you don't know that, don't propose.
Yeah. Please don't. Don't have doubts about it. Talk about it to your partner.
Yeah.
Get the hint, okay? But so I didn't have that worry. My bigger thing was, in the event, in this whole planning, and only you know, we planned this for almost a week and a half, right? One, the hardest part was keeping it a secret from my partner, especially when you're spending almost 18 hours a day with this person.
In
It's
fact, you
very
managed to
hard.
piss her off.
Yeah, that is the best part. No, that I think that's where I won because she had no clue because I pissed her off. If I hadn't, then she would have had a thought. Like, ஏதோ பெருசாக பிளான் பண்ணுறா கண்டுபிடிச்சிருப்பா காண்டத்தினால அவள் ஒரு மாதிரி இதாயிட்டா. Feeling wise, yes, I was more worried about am I going to sing the song right? Am I not going to fuck up the lyrics? And those were my bigger issues at that point, not the proposal. But yeah,
No, I'm talking about like imagine you going down your knee and then everyone looking at that ring is like they're losing that shit in their bar. They're like, what? And then you're there, the reason for it. So how did you manage to just keep your cool and just stick to that moment saying, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit? It was hard.
It was very hard. Fuck, it was hard. And honestly, I'll tell you, a lot of it, whatever I said and stuff like that, because I didn't have anything prepared. And this is the problem, right? I had just one line prepared, okay, saying, and to give context to people who don't know, the song that I sang before I proposed, the title of the song is Kathirikkiren, which is Tamil waiting for you, right? And so my only line that I had ready was, நான் ரொம்ப வருஷமா காத்துட்டேன் இதுக்கப்புறம் வெயிட் பண்ண வேணாம் Shweta, will you marry me? This was the
And
line.
you fucked that line up.
No, I didn't fuck that line up. I said it. I'll tell you where it fucked up. After that, people in the crowd started saying, oh, talk. That's where I fucked up. That's where I was like, just marry me, please. That's literally how it came out. First line, I said it. I said it. I went on one knee. Timing was perfect. 10 on 10. ரியாக்ஷன் கொடுக்குற கேப்ல இவங்கெல்லாம் கதற ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க தான் சொல்லு அர்ஜுன் ஸ்பீச் அப்படின்னு ஸோ ஐ வாஸ் லைக் ஓ நவ் ப்ரெஷர் 100 people looking at you, spotlights on you, you're on one knee, ring is right there, girl is reacting well. Now what do you do? Say some random crap. It was very hard.
But it was definitely fun and it was emotional as well, guys. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Major props to my man for literally being for the the short version of that story is I literally went up to Jaytesh and said, listen, I want to propose, so can we do an event? Jaytesh said yes. I was like, oh, this was the harder proposal to make. He said yes. That was honestly harder than me going and asking my girlfriend.
You fucker, I was trying to keep that information away from my entire crew and everybody who ran to go.
Great. Two notes for you. One, I don't care. Two, there's something called the edit table. Figure it out over there.
We have a policy in podcast. What happens in the podcast stays in the podcast.
Stays in the podcast.
So,
okay, cool.
Chill. Anyhow, I think we got to come to the end of the video because we spoke for like
look at my dog. My
He's
dog
like,
has fallen asleep. It's like so bored in life at this point.
It's great advice for anyone else who's budding in this field and wants to learn. Somebody who wants to get into the media marketing side. Somebody who wants to be a content creator. Somebody who wants to propose to his girlfriend on so many levels.
Yeah, take notes.
Yeah. Fair enough. So how did you feel? I think this was your first podcast experience, was it?
It's not. This is the first podcast experience. I'll tell you why. Because I've done one. நான் சொல்றது லாக்டவுன்ல. It was a mobile podcast. Like ஒரு மாதிரி நான் ஃபோன்ல அப்படி கேட்கல அதான் இதுதான் பாட்காஸ்ட் இல்ல
I am talking about having his headphones on, listening to your own voice.
Lovely நான் தான் சொல்றேன் ஹெட்ஃபோன்ஸ் போட்டு hello அப்படினா I'm like what the fuck I sound like Siddharth Abhimanyu suddenly. But no, dude, it is fun and like you said I feel there's no other way and honestly when I was talking to you I did put a lot of things together to kind of tell you as one line, right? Is when I myself like, oh, this is perspective that even I have not thought of before, which is great. I think it is a lot of fun. Yeah.
For sure.
What did you think?
She nuckified her nose.
Okay,
She's
sure.
like, fucking give me food at this point. சும்மா 2-3 லைன் ராப் பண்றா உன்னோட பாட்டுங்கள்.
ராப் பண்ணுமா?
ஏதோ பாடு something.
What the fuck?
Jun beats the beat.
What are you going to you beatbox? I'll rap. Hey, தயோட முகத்தை பார்த்ததில்லை ஆனால் உன்னில் கண்டேனே பாசத்தில் எல்லமாயம் செய்து புடைத்தாய் இந்த கல்லையில் காதல் சொல்ல வார்த்தைகளோ இல்லை போறோம் நல்ல
Beatboxing.
What was that in the end, bro?
It was my beatboxing finish. Yo.
Drum roll.
Yeah.
Beatbox drum roll. Nice.
All right. On that note, guys, we've reached the end of our podcast. That was an amazing session. Like I had just said, I had a fun time. So make sure that you guys also drop your comments on, the places that you felt that you liked, or things that you would like to also know. We can definitely do a next version of the podcast. So let us know. And if you felt that this is something that a lot of people need to hear, please share it with those particular people. Like if you feel there is that particular friend who needs to learn how a content creator's process works, how a brand deal gets broken down, what is the internal corporate structure of an agency that works with Netflix, how it is to, actually write something, to follow discipline, and how is the life of a creator, share away. That's about it, guys. That's me, Jaytesh, signing off. That's
Arjun, thank you so much. See you guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
yeah, don't forget to...
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Horror படம் ஓப்பனிங் மாதிரி இருக்குடா. அதை யூஸ் செஞ்சு அவாய்ட் பண்றேன்.
Fair enough. All right, GG boys.